if we concentrate on these farm projects, then there'll be no need of exchange. You'll be satisfied with what you produce, I'll be satisfied with what I produce. There'll be no need of exchange, so there'll be no need of money. We're satisfied. You've got what you produce, I've got what I produce. Prabhupada is even saying the trade should be minimised. Produce basically what you need. A few things you don't need, you don't have, maybe salt or oil, so you can trade that, and that's another point I have to try to remember. We were also talking about how to process the milk. The final product is the ghee. First of all, there's milk. Everyone's drinking fresh milk from the cow. That's the premium. Then, during the day, it's being warmed. Prabhupada didn't say boiled. He said it's being warmed. And anyway, where's the fuel to boil milk, 24 hours a day? No. So it's being warmed, stop it from, deteriorating. Then people take whatever milk they need during the day, specifically the children and the elderly, and maybe the diseased, So, because milk is a great books have been written about a milk diet which can cure just about any chronic disease, and that diet is basically drink a glass of milk every half an hour, you rest completely for a couple of weeks. I mean, if you've got a really dangerous disease, then maybe under the supervision of a physician, but physicians were treating people for at least 200 years in Europe and then America with this diet of fresh milk, and even for them it wasn't that fresh. They were living in the cities and they were getting it 8 hours, so many hours late, and then they kept it for another so many hours. They rest completely, drink a glass of milk every half an hour, and just for the point of interest, there's no other food in the world that you can put down one on top of the other. You'll get digestive problems. But milk, it's like it inoculates. Each time you put one in, it's inoculating that, like each other. You can actually just drink milk like a calf anytime you like, really, within reason, and the body will handle it. And if you drink up to even 5 litres or 5.5 litres a day, you're putting all this nutrient-dense food into the body, and the body's resting, so it's trying to heal itself. You can overcome practically any disease. So, anyway, so Prabhupada turned this subject matter to what we were talking about. Okay, anyway. Prabhupada turned his attention to what he wanted to discuss. He said, besides that, if we concentrate on this farm project, there was no need of exchange. Remember, he said concentrate. Okay? And this is January 1977. Now, here's a really very important point. What Prabhupada said in 1966, what he said in 77, you have to understand, and what he said at the end of 1977, and what he said just before he passed away, then you've got to understand this is very significant, and to whom he said it. Now, I put it in a perspective. He considered Rameshwar to be such a capable person that if anyone could run as a president for the United States and manage the situation, it would be Rameshwar, right? So he's speaking to, a very important person, and he said, if you concentrate on the farming projects, no need of exchange. You'll be satisfied with what you produce, I'll be satisfied with what I produce. No need of exchange. All this banking, that will collapse automatically. There'll be no need of money. Who will want to keep money in the bank? Okay, put it into context right now. Just to see what Prabhupada said like 35 years ago. It's all starting to come true. Sorry, I'm not a doomsdayist, but I'm a pragmatist too. Mm-hmm. So is Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, why would he be involved in this farming project and, ploughing of the bulls and all this for, 20 odd years, right? So, all this banking will collapse automatically. There'll be no need of money. Who will want to keep money in the bank? Just see Prabhupada's great intelligence. We're thinking, oh no, look, let me scam. Somehow they get money and buy food. Why go to all this bother growing food? Prabhupada was thinking in such a way to solve all the problems in the world. First of all, you solve your own problems. Become convinced this is a better way for everyone's benefit, for the environment, for everything. Let's face it, governments are being sacked and voted in on environmental considerations even right now. Moral considerations. Look at the vegan group, probably more committed than the vegetarians. And Prabhupada did say, actually, vegetarian is be vegetarian, that's not non-violence actually. Not. Anyway, so Hari Soy says this is revolutionary, and Rameshwar says it's very difficult for the mind to. Prabhupada said no, simply do this. We should be satisfied locally, buy our own food, our own cloth, and our own milk. That's all. Let the whole world go to hell. We don't care. And if you want to save yourself, also do this. This artificial life, city life, hellish life, if you want, you do it. But here's an example. We will live like this. Then I'm not paraphrasing, but I might not get it in exact order of this conversation. But Hari Soi says, then they refer to a discussion from a previous day where Prabhupada talks about, we can't be sentimental about presenting Christian consciousness. We have to be straightforward. So he talks about the scenario of a doctor, and somebody's got a boil. So the person goes to the doctor, and the boil's really hurting, and he even goes with some of his family members or relatives or something, right? And they're all suggesting, perhaps we can blow on it, or perhaps we can put some salve on it, or whatever. But the doctor knows, no, he's got a lancet, so he gets out a knife, and they all start, crying, and the man says, he's killing me, but the doctor knows his duty, The patient says, he's God, I can't do justice the way Prabhupada said it, but so in this way, then they allude that to that previous time's conversation. They said, but Prabhupada, we're going out preaching. In other words, they're thinking Prabhupada saying not for them to do it, somebody else is going to do it, but we're preaching that. Prabhupada said, yeah, preaching. And then Prabhupada says, it's like purging out. It's like you said about the doctor and the boil, and Prabhupada says, yes, purge out. He said, how to put it? No, something like no sentiment or no compromise. Purge out, and then anyway, Prabhupada gets just the idea. They're thinking that he's not telling them to do it. So Prabhupada said, you learn and do it. I'm not encouraging upon your independence, but if you want to be happy, you follow. Apani Achari Prabhu Jivara Shakai. This is our principle. You live happily ideally, and other people will learn. But if you want to do this thing minus Krishna consciousness, it will not be successful. It will not be successful. This will only be successful when there's Krishna consciousness. And Hari Soi says, Gandhi couldn't do it. Prabhupada said, nobody can. Marx, he tried to, artificial or by force. But here, the attraction is Krishna. Never mind there's some inconvenience. And then Hari Soi says something to the effect, that chanting is enough, Prabhupada, there's so much nectar. Prabhupada said, no. Chanting, deity worship, book publishing, Sankirtan, then it will be all right. Right. So, okay, that's a pretty much a ultimatum. Then Prabhupada backs off a little bit. Okay, so then around about April 29th, 1977, Prabhupada says, look, I'm not doing very much physical work, so I'm only using my brain, so I think I could probably just live on milk, or maybe milk and fruit. Maybe I mentioned this previously. And Prabhupada said, then he said, give me milk twice a day. And then he said, look, I don't need all this lunch and everything, Somewhere along the line, he said something about rubbish. I don't want all these chapatis and rubbish. But it's not like the chapati is necessarily rubbish, but, he's indicating he wanted milk. Now, previously he's telling us, grow your food and everything like that, right? But Prabhupada himself was thinking, well, at my stage, it would be good to have milk. Because he was thinking of what these physicians had written about, because he read that book, The Miracle of Milk. You can download it on the internet. And it's by, there are two books, one by Charles Porter. He was a physician. He treated 40,000 or 35,000 patients on this milk diet. And he was raving about it, And, there are articles being written by physicians at the time and even scientists, from dairy departments of, university. They're saying, look, for millennia, people have been searching out the elixir of youth and immortality, right? But you don't have to look any further than the udder of a cow.